das gar nicht zu erwähnen, weil wir wissen es alle.
We are here because of several reasons. The very first reason is to inform and to sensitize so many people about the African history. But we don't want to limit this just to the history, but to create an awareness in the public, what the Germans call Bewusstsein. That the people should understand, the Germans and the Europeans should understand that before the Africans are coming to Europe, or the Europeans going to Africa, this is something that has been happening for quite a long time, and we are coming here to demonstrate against the genocide, against the torture, against the maiming that took place during the era of colonization in Africa, where the Europeans executed so many Africans, and now we are asking them to pay for a reparation and to ask for apologies from Africans.
Germany had some Africa colonized, but it's 100 years ago. Why it's important for you today?
Yeah, the point is that we are not just talking on colonization on its own. We are talking on colonization as an era where so many crimes were committed against Africans. And it did not stop there. There is still a continuity. And you see, like the wars in Congo, the war today in Côte d'Ivoire, in Ivory Coast, the war all over Africa are still some of the effects of colonization. The exploitations that are going on are still the effects of colonization, are still the practices of colonization. And the barriers, the trade barriers existing between Africa and Europe started in the period of colonization. So though the era of colonization is over, but the practices are still going on. And that is why we are here to see that, to fight against these poor practices that is actually letting Africa behind other continents of the world.
Wir kämpfen gegen den Rassismus und wir kämpfen gegen sämtliche Diskriminierungen.
Yeah, the exploitation, as I said earlier, if you look like what is happening in Congo, the coltan business, where the Europeans are exploiting coltan, and in order to exploit this coltan, they instigate wars in it. Look at what is happening in Ivory Coast today, where the French troops are found in Ivory Coast. They have implemented the French troops there. We don't think the best way to solve a conflict in a country is to use the military. The military cannot stop a war or cannot make peace. The military cannot build peace, and the military can never keep peace. So that is why one of the reasons that we are fighting against all this military deployment in Africa. We need civil conflict managers that can actually identify the problems existing in the African society and look for possible solutions, and not the deployment of military in the African continent. We have so many demands, and our demands is not only to the German government, our demand is to the German government and the European government. One of our demands is apologies and reparation that the Africans expect from the Europeans. And apology alone is not enough. Reparation alone is not enough. We need apologies and we need reparation. The two should go together. The other demands is they have to stop all the wars that are existing in Africa. The Europeans should stop exporting weapons to Africa. We don't produce weapons in Africa, and we don't need the wars that are going on in Africa. The other demand is you have the skulls and the other parts of the human bodies that are found here in Europe. These skulls of human body and other parts of human bodies were brought here to carry on research, racist biological research to say that the Africans are more inferior to the Europeans. And because of that, we are asking them to carry back these skulls and the other parts of human bodies that were brought here to Africa and give them dignified burials. So these are some of the demands. We have many other demands. For example, the free movement. We need that every refugee who is here, every refugee, I say again, but especially on African refugees who are found here, should be given the freedom of movement and should be given the freedom to stay here, because the wealth of Africa is found here, and so the people, Africans, must come to Europe as well.